Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. I want to do a deep dive exploration on Pedro Pascal. Why the hell is he so bloody popular? Because when I take a look at his box office gross, they're really not actually that good. And I'm really surprised and shocked of why he's become a sensation. And why I believe movie studios will drop him soon. Just from a numbers perspective. So come with me on this deep dive, I guess. It's going to be an interesting one. Because watching how the internet fawns over him and how movie studios use him in everything currently, you'd be mistaken for believing he's just been the arbiter, or should I say the defining factor of movie success. It's just simply not true. So hit subscribe if you're new here and do turn those bell notifications on. Let's take a look at this, shall we? So these are his box office grosses. These are the movies that he's been involved with for the last few, and there's a lot of them. There's a hell of a lot of them, because you and I both know, ladies and gents, that he's been in a lot of movies lately. A hell of a lot of movies lately. And they've not done really well at all, actually. So let's go right the way down to his first, his first things, lead or ensemble roles. These just all acting credits. So let's go all the way down to here, right, to 2011. And we can start to see that he's not been in things which have been resounding successes. And I don't get why he's a thing. It's quite surprising. And I do feel like the general malaise that's sort of felt when you mention Pedro Pascal now, I think we're going to start to see the end of him soon. So the Adjustment Bureau, domestic gross of $62 million, worldwide of only 126.9, so $127 million. Now this was in 2011, so a fair while ago. But not brilliant. Not a smash hit success, that's for sure. Not a smash hit success. Quite surprising, actually. And that was one of his first films. So yeah, not good. Not good. And the reason why I'm doing this is it's just interesting, I think, because again, you believe he was a big hit. Blood-Sucking Bastards doesn't count. The Great Wall, okay, $45 million. Now the rest of it was mainly from China, which, they wouldn't have seen money-wise. The domestic Hollywood studios wouldn't have really seen much of that. But it did do a comfortable total of $334 million. Sure, fine. I mean, he's not the reason why it did well, though. Kingsman: The Golden Circle, $408 million worldwide. Now, that movie wasn't exactly a resounding success. That was okay, but it wasn't a resounding success. They didn't really do too much after that, did they, in the Kingsman world? Sort of put it on ice, basically. Equalizer 2, $190 million worldwide. He played a bit part in it, basically. So not really much to mention there. But it was okay. It was so-so. Prospect. Nothing, obviously. If Beale Street Could. $21 million worldwide. Not great. And then the rest there, obviously, bit parts. Triple Frontier, Tropico. And then we get to more recent. And now this is where he started to become something. This is kind of post Narcos and post Game of Thrones, I guess. I mean, it is, obviously. But this is where he started to get on people's radar more and more. Wonder Woman 1984. Now, that was such a bomb. That was such a big box office bomb that they effectively decided to put Patty Jenkins on ice from there. It also removed her from Rogue Squadron as well. because it was just a huge failure. I mean, $169 million worldwide, right? That was abysmal. That would have lost significant sums of money, somewhere in the region of easily $100 million. It's not a stretch. So that was a huge failure. The Bubble, don't know what that is. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Now, that was a good movie. That was a decent movie, but I can't imagine that would have earned too much money at all, in fact. And then you see just doing everything, literally everything, right? After The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, everything. Strange Way of Life, I don't know what that is, but it didn't really do anything. Drive Away Dolls. 2024 is where we saw a boom of Pedro Pascal. We saw it as well in releases of like The Last of Us, for instance. So Drive Away Dolls, $5 million domestically, basically $8 million worldwide. Not good. The Wild Robot. Now, that was considered by some, it had good reviews. People quite liked it. He's not the reason, obviously. That would have been a fairly big box office hit. Gladiator 2. Now, he was influential in that film. He was, a main character, I guess. He was one of the antagonists in the movie. Now, that's not good. $460 million worldwide. There was somewhere in the region, this movie cost somewhere between $200 to $350 million. So $460 million worldwide is a pretty big failure for that. That's not good at all. That would have lost money. And that's why we've not heard anything about the next one. Because if anyone doesn't remember, Ridley Scott was like, yeah, I want to make another one. I want to make another of these movies. It's basically Gladiator 2 Part 1. We need to make Gladiator 2 Part 2. Where's the commentary on that happening? It's not, is it? So that's a big failure. Freaky Tales, I don't know what that is, so I'm not going to comment. But Materialist. So here's another movie, right? Not good. $75 million. Eddington, huge failure. $11 million. And then Fantastic Four, a movie which is essentially marketed as the Pedro Pascal movie. Right, him and Vanessa Kirby. They're leading the charge. They had him front and centre, touching everyone. $472 million worldwide. That's a failure. That's a box office bomb. That is awful for Marvel. That's truly awful. And that's basically where it's going to end now. It might hit $500 million worldwide. May hit that. I think it'll struggle all in, but it may hit that. These are not good. These are not good numbers. So why is this guy a thing? Why is this guy a thing? I mean, as the numbers notes here, which you can't see because my big dumb head is in the way, best known as a supporting actor, based on credits in the role of 9 films, with 1.1 billion worldwide aggregate box office, rank 2,637. Not good, actually. So again, the reason why I'm doing this is I think we've seen Pedro Pascal reach critical mass and he's going to dissipate now because he's actually been in box office bomb after box office bomb after box office bomb. And movie studios do this, is that they latch onto someone. They latch onto someone that they believe is going to be the next big thing. And I think they thought he was going to be the next big thing. And I think the writing's on the wall for him. There was a weird push to see him in everything. There was a weird push. Mainstream media love him. You know, he's the kind of masculinity we want in Hollywood. And all this blasé nonsense. But the numbers don't lie. And the box office can't be argued with. I think we're going to see the end of Pedro Pascal. So, I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think? Do you think we're going to see the end of Pedro Pascal soon? Let me know down below. Bit of a different video for me today, but I thought it was interesting just to critically appraise his box office numbers. Now, I could have included the budgets to those movies, but A lot of them we kind of know anyway. The major ones we know. And I think he's lost more money than he's earned, actually. So, there you go. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.